we bring in the NCAC Newcomer of the Year, who also, coincidentally, was last year's Big Dog of the Year in basketball. Also, she is the number one guard in the country in Division III in scoring as a freshman. Ladies and gentlemen, what we thought could never be done again is now just breaking down barriers from Wooster via Boardman. Ladies and gentlemen, Mackenzie Riccatelli. Hi, Kenz.
Hi.
Great to see you. I'd like to say that was one of the better intros we've ever done, but I could just go on and on with the resume that you've built over your lifetime of what, a ripe old 19, right? 18, 19?
19, yeah.
Goodness. All right. So we got to start here. Going from Boardman to Worcester, playing at the next level is something that a lot of people think about, that they know in their heart they can do, but there is a little bit of hesitation because it is a huge jump. What has that jump been like for you, and especially the first year going through? Obviously, we've seen your success, but were there nerves? Was there any kind of trepidation to jumping into to college basketball?
Yeah, there were definitely nerves, but the coaches here and all of my teammates, they made it a lot easier to show up every day and have myself get more comfortable with everything. So everyone here has just been extremely helpful with all of those nerves, that jump from high school to college level. Yeah.
So, what was the acclimation period like? I mean, talk about how long it took you to kind of get used to this level of basketball, this speed of basketball. Was it almost instant, or did you take, a couple of weeks or months in practice before the season started to kind of get yourself used to playing basketball at this level?
Well, before the season started, we had like open gyms and stuff. So I got a feel for like the pace. Obviously, there was no shot clock during those, but yeah, in practices, I mean, I was able to just like go right in and I felt pretty comfortable. And then for games, it only took me like one or two games to really just get used to like having that shot clock and having that like much faster pace game.
I remember when you were going through the recruitment process, and I remember one of our last interviews that we did with you, and you mentioned how they didn't exactly have the record that you were accustomed to, or that you wanted, but you thought that you fit in well there, and you thought that you can make an impact immediately. And it also came with all the great bells and whistles on the academic side as well. Did you feel like you made that impact that you wanted to the first year? Did you leave anything out there on the floor? And what was it like? I mean, from when you go into kind of a I don't want to say a jungle, when you walk into the unknown, so to speak, and people are, you are the chosen one, the one that they wanted so much. You walk in there, and was it immediate kind of friendships with your teammates? Were you able to build a chemistry with them? And how did you go from being the number one leader essentially in the entire valley to going there and showing your leadership style?
Yeah, I mean, our team is very small, so we all got along very well. And just starting to play with them, it came natural. Ace, our other like point guard, it was like extremely easy to like play with her and like bounce off of her where like either one of us could bring the ball up. So like it was a lot less pressure, I guess, on myself. And I was just able to like flow with the game and start having fun while playing.
One of the other transitions from high school to college is when you're in a college locker room, you get a lot of different people from different places that have different, backgrounds, different ways of doing things. What's it been like for you to kind of be in a college locker room and to kind of mold yourself with a bunch of different athletes from different places and in different points of view?
Well, like you said, we come from all over, so it's very interesting to like be in there with all of them, and I like to like learn from each and every one of them because we all bring something different to the table. We have girls from Florida, New York, like all over the place, Michigan. So it is very nice to like be in there with all of them and like get to know them more, and then get to know like what they know.
What's the training process? I mean, you trained incredibly hard in high school? I know you still come back to put shots up in the gym on the weekends. What's the training process been like getting into college and having to balance that workload? Academically, I'm guessing there's more challenges in college than there were in high school at some point, especially as a freshman. But for you, what has that training process been like? Are they trying to put more meat on your bones? Are they trying to get you on meal placements? What is it like for you?
So yeah, like we definitely lift a lot more than I did in high school, and it's on myself to make sure that I'm eating the right food, the right amount of protein to gain that muscle because obviously, like that jump from high school to college, like you have to be strong in order to like be able to compete against these girls. Um, but yeah, I'm able to handle the balance between athletics and academics fairly well. I try to stay organized with the planner, get all my homework done early so that when we have the long days where it's either a lift throughout the day and then practice or practice and then lift and then all like the extra time in the gym that I choose to go and shoot, like I'm able to balance that pretty well.
We've talked about the jump in level of basketball from high school to college. Talk to me about just how much do you think Boardman and the schedule you guys played and the teams you guys played really prepared you for what you were going to see at the college level? How much do you kind of reflect on some of the experiences you had in high school and AAU down here in Youngstown?
It prepared me so much. I can't give enough credit to Boardman and just everyone there, not even just the people that were involved in basketball, but a lot of these games, like I said, fast paced, but that's how we played in high school. So I was used to that. I'm used to running up and down the court, like playing where I'm like not getting tired, and just like that whole extra level of defense. Even like it's just so like everything is so fast paced, but I feel like that prepared me very well.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this next question. We usually don't go down this path, but I know there's a lot of people out there that were really frustrated last year when you didn't necessarily get the accolades necessarily that a lot of people thought you deserved. Did you use that as like a chip on your shoulder going into college and say that, hey, I'm going to just go in and become the newcomer of the year? I'm going to be the top scoring guard as a freshman. Did you use any of that to kind of, fill up the gas tank?
I mean, yeah, definitely a little bit, but anyone that has heard me ever say this, like I did not want to watch my stats at all or add up all my points that I had this season. I just wanted to go out there and play without any of that extra pressure. Cause like last year, towards the end, when I was near that 1,000 point mark, I was definitely nervous and just thinking about it the whole time. So I allowed myself to just not think and just go out there and play. And then whatever happened, happened. And yeah, I think that that's the best way for myself to go about it.
So I always like asking college athletes what their welcome to college, sports moment was. What was your welcome to college basketball moment where you really realized, okay, this is different, this is real, and this is where I'm at now?
That's a great question. Maybe when we started conference play, just because like I've always heard like how good our conference is and how good these teams were, but then like when you're actually out there playing and like you see the level that these girls can play at, and then like you're playing with them, and then 1 minute you look up at the score and like you're down by like 30. I guess like that was a really like a moment where I really realized that all right, like these girls are good. Like we gotta try to keep with them.
All right, Ken. So there's a lot of talk about NIL in college. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of there's a lot still up in the air about it. Now that you are one of the top players in Division III and specifically in your conference, do you see yourself looking at potentially getting some deals out there and trying to help yourself financially?
I have actually never even thought about that. So I could not give you an answer right now on that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can give you an answer. How about we do this? You and I link up and we do the first ever YSN NIL deal for Mackenzie Riccatelli at Wooster.
I'd be 100% in. You know that.
We'll figure it out. I want this to happen. We're incredibly
All right.
proud of you from that standpoint. We'll get with your agent that just happens to be your dad, and we'll get it linked up and make things official we've been looking to jump into that pool, and certainly I don't think there's anybody better to kind of carry the flag than you. Which brings me to my question. I hear there's this humongous trophy that they sent you already. Do you have it? Is it with you right now?
Yes.
Go get it right now.
Go get it.
It's right here.
I was waiting for this huge trophy.
No,
Like I thought it was going to be as big as you were.
No.
Come on, NCAC. You're better than that. What's tuition like at Wooster these days?
Crazy.
Come on.
It's crazy.
To have, I mean, honestly, in all seriousness, to be able to be named the quote unquote rookie of the year, which is what we call it, the newcomer of the year. What does that mean to you? And you know, you said you don't look at your stats, but there's got to be something, Kenz, where you're sitting there and you're looking over the scouting report, or you're getting, you know, double teamed in college basketball as a freshman, and you're like, okay, I might be doing something right here.
Yeah, you know, I think it's just like this really just shows like the hard work that I've put in and all the time that I've spent like in the gym or just like working on other things that would help me with the game. I think that's the most important thing. Just like always remember that I have been working hard.
You know, I know we joked about your dad being your agent, and
best.
he's one of the big reasons why anyone in the area can find out how you're doing, because he's like your biggest fan on social media.
Mhm.
Of course. What does it mean to you to just continue this basketball journey and see the passion that he brings to not just your high school career, but now that you're out of the nest a little bit, the passion he brings to your college career as well?
It means so much just to, like, have him there at all the games because I'm not the closest. I mean, I'm an hour and a half away, and the closest game, I think, was Hiram to home. So he has to travel so far, to, like, even watch me play, but then he makes sure that when I come home, he's in the gym with me. He's always, like, texting me different things to try to encourage me or help me out, give me, like, little tips of advice, and it just means so much.
All right, I wasn't going to bring it up, but this is a natural segue into the next question. The note that you wrote to your dad.
Yeah.
As a dad, I mean, I'm trying hard not to sit there and you know, fight tears back. For you, what made you feel like that was the right time to send that note? Not that there's ever a good time or a bad time for it, but to
Mhm.
send that note to him and what you said in there. Can you just give a synopsis to everybody about, you know, what was going through your mind, you know, what you said and why you said it?
Yeah, so, like, a little background on that, we've actually done a lot of, like, mental training, as a team, and then the one thing that we did was, like, things that you're grateful for. It's always important to, like, remind yourself what you're grateful for, and it was, like, a little exercise that we did where we wrote a couple people we were grateful for, and then at the end, it was an option to write a letter to one of them, and right after that, we actually received letters from family members, and I got one from Coach Hamilton too, just like giving us words of encouragement to get through the rest of the season. So I chose to write mine to my dad, obviously, because he has just been the most influential person in my life. And I basically just told him all the things that I wish I told him more about how grateful I was for him, how I'll never be able to repay him for all of the time and money that he's spent on me and this sport. And just basically telling him that like I love him and I appreciate him because I don't say it enough.
Kenz, one of my last questions for you is, you talked about what your teammates bring and how interesting it's been to watch, you know, and learn from the teammates that bring everything from their hometown. What do you think you bring from Boardman that is specific to Youngstown in this area that you bring to the locker room that you learned from this growing up here?
I would just say my competitiveness, like always showing up, working my hardest, out on the court, giving it my all. And I feel like that's definitely like helped. We have so much potential on this team to be a good basketball team. And if we just put all of those little pieces together, then I think we'll be good.
Ken's last question for me. What do you wish somebody would have told you going into your first year of college or college basketball that you now know, you understand very vividly, but you wish someone would have warned you or prepared you for as you graduated your senior year of high school and your first year of being a freshman?
I don't really know if this has to do with like the actual like game and like the physicality of it, but just having fun and not letting little things affect you. And I think towards like the middle to end of the season, I really like stopped letting things affect me. I wasn't in my head at all. It's just like, just go give it your all and have fun. Like you've got nothing to lose. And yeah.
We're so proud of you. I mean, from pillar to post, you've been one of our favorite players to cover. And for the chip on your shoulder, we think you got everything you deserved. We threw the book at you last year, and because we thought you were that good. And by golly, did you go out and prove it to everybody in the entire world that not only are you absolutely phenomenal, but we kind of know what we're talking about when it comes to local area athletes. Mackenzie Riccatelli, we are so freaking proud of you. Thank you so much for spending some time. Congratulations on all your success. We know there's going to be a ton more. And make sure that you stop by, because word is you're going to be with us on March 22nd for the All-Star game. You're going to be hanging out. Bring your little trophy, too. We'll put that on full display. Maybe do some autographs.
It might stay here.
Thank you, Kenz. We appreciate you. Go study something while you're at it, okay?
Thank you so much for having me on.
You got it, Kenz.